Hello, I am Dr. Radhika. This is Luna. I am back. I have been away in Greece for 3 weeks and then just allowed myself a week of integration to land back in our home, back with Luna. I missed her so much and I think she missed me as well. We have a slightly different setup here today. I've got this massive chunky podcast mic because my other one wasn't charged, and I just felt like I was in the vibe today to get a episode recorded for you. And here's the thing, we get to lead in authenticity, we get to lead in a lack of perfectionism, and that is how I'm showing up today. So I wanted to talk exactly about this, about leadership and the difference between performing and actually leading authentically. So what do I mean by this, right? You can have the most beautiful Instagram profile and your life can be in absolute shit. You can have the most glorious Instagram feed and still be treating people like crap. You can have an incredible Instagram feed and you can be treating your clients poorly. You can have everything on the surface looking really beautiful, but actually the depths of yourself are in deep unhappiness. We don't want to be building businesses. We don't want to be building brands. We don't want to be building services and offerings which are based on a lie. And we don't want to be growing and scaling businesses and building a business of our dreams that actually leaves us feeling like we're so disconnected from everything else in our life. This is one of the key takeaways I have taken from these last 5 years of the Spiritual Psychologist. I am obsessed with my business. I absolutely love it. I love serving people. I love serving my community. I love the women in the Academy of Healing, and I think about it a lot. But what this led to was this over obsession where life was not about anything else. It was purely about the business. And so therefore, my value, my worth, my passion in life was only to do with business. And what that in turn actually meant was that I was neglecting aspects of my life. True leadership to me now is not about how I am performing in my business. That's a key factor. How are things going in my business? Am I receiving the clients that I want to receive? Am I supporting the right people? All the metrics, all of those pieces need to be looked at, right? We need to take responsibility of these different pieces. But if you are operating purely from a place of leadership in business, but not in your life, you are bypassing the whole purpose of running a business and building a business in the first place. I found that I was actually in patterns where I wasn't present because I was always on my phone. I was neglecting my husband, my son, as a result, not really being there with them. And they would get pissed off by it, right? My son would say, why are you always on your phone? You don't look at me. You know, some of these words that he would say were so deeply triggering. And also it created this catalyst of change and shift around how it is that I desire to do things. They say that running and building a business is like self-development on crack. I heard somebody say this recently, and it is so true. It rapidly progresses you into leaning into the parts of yourself that are vulnerable, that lead from ego, that lives and operates in fear and doubt. And we get to really use that as an opportunity to lean into how it is that we desire to create something that honors all parts of who we are, that honors all parts of ourselves. The traditional masculine way is that we lead from a place of burnout, overworking, and actually that isn't authentic because you're not honoring your true soul desires, right? You're actually performing. That's what you're doing. You're performing for an end result, a magic result that is going to make you happy without actually looking at where there is unhappiness in your life, where there isn't a sense of peace in your life. We get to create a shift. We get to create a shift so that whatever it is we are creating and building, we are also taking responsibility for how we are showing up in other aspects of our life. And so then we build based on secure, solid foundations, right? We talk about this in the Academy of Healing so much. We can build businesses, we can have beautiful, intimate relationships with our partners and our children, right? We don't have to forsake those relationships in order to do what we are passionate about. What I have learned is that true leadership is how it is that you are leading yourself through life. What is it that you are prioritizing? And what is it that you are ignoring? This is great, powerful shadow work. We cannot keep avoiding the things that we don't want to look at, but that are always going to be there, creating a sense of guilt and shame. For me, my son is 14 years old. I do not want to look back at this time and think I should have been more present. I should have helped him with his learning. I don't want to look back at this time and think I should have cuddled him more instead of looking at my phone. So there is a decision. What is it that needs your attention in your life? The business pieces, your leadership in business, and how that flourishes, how that blooms, is going to be so interrelated with how you are tending to your personal life. How is it that you're tending to yourself? Are you hating on yourself every day? Are you speaking to yourself so negatively every day? Are you ignoring your partner when they walk through the door at the end of the day? Or are you showing up and giving them a cuddle, showing them attention, pouring love into them, showing that you're happy that they're there? All of these pieces are fundamental in leadership. Leadership, in some ways, first and foremost, has nothing to do with business. It is about your relationship with yourself and others. So from this episode today, I want you to go deep into an assessment. We can call it an assessment, a review, an honest fucking look, right, at what it is you need to take responsibility for. Is it your relationship with money? Is it how you're showing up in your relationship? Are you just blaming your partner? Or are you looking at your role as well within that? What are you allowing that isn't okay? What do you need to get boundaried with? How are you tending to your heart? How are you tending to your nourishment? Are you moving, or are you just sitting around all day and then blaming depression, right? That's going to sound harsh and triggering, maybe. But the reason I share this is because the most liberating thing you can do in your life is to take responsibility for the aspects of it that are not going so well. This is where you are going to step into the most profound leadership in your life. So be honest with yourself. Write it down, feel into it. Feel into the parts of your life which feel like they're maybe failing in some way. Go there, allow that to move through your body, cry, shake, and then take action. One of the things this year, since coming back from Greece, since coming back from my retreat, has been really setting some firm boundaries around the woman I'm becoming, the business owner I'm becoming, as I desire to scale my business, as it is scaling, right? Within that, I choose not to subscribe to hustle. I choose to subscribe to pleasure. To allow that pleasure, I need to bring in devoted boundaries. So these last couple of weeks, for example, I have been making sure that all my posts, my work is completed by 4:30. After that, it is spending time with my son, helping him with his homework if he needs it, cooking, nourishing my family, giving the dog attention so that she's not jumping up barking because she's needing that attention, right? Making sure that my attention is not split and distracted, but that I am present. Using the whole evening to explore what pleasure looks like to me. Reading a book, watching something on Netflix with my husband, whatever it might be. Where can you activate deeper pleasure in your life? This is leadership. Where can you take responsibility and deepen into pleasure? And both things get to be pleasurable as well. I will leave it there. I am super excited for a new event that I am running. It's called How to Be a Shit Hot Coach. And here's the thing, it starts with our own leadership. How to be a shit hot coach the holistic way. If you want to join, it is a very low cost event. You can even access personalized coaching with me as well. Check out the show notes and you will see the event. You can drop in and connect with me. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time for another episode of The Spiritual Psychologist.